Welcome to SerialPodcastNine.
Wow, you're really just firing on all cylinders right now. I love it. I'm going to tell you about this beer. It's the word that'll get Kevin going. India Pale Ale with passion fruit, pineapple, orange, natural flavor, and certified color, contains milk sugar.
What's the word that gets me going?
Milk.
That was tart.
Oh, tart, yeah.
Just trying my best. Just out here swinging for the fences.
So what are we talking about tonight?
Oh shit, I don't know. Imposter syndrome. Actually, we have a
imposter
question.
syndrome's a good
What
one.
even is that?
What?
That's when you think.
What even is that? We could talk
when
about
you think
that.
you
Well, I
don't
do.
deserve your success because you're like, why am I successful? Like, why do I have all this shit? Like, I think I'm not good enough for this. Like, how did I possibly get this job? Like, I think they're gonna find me out any second here that I'm actually stupid, you know?
Yeah, they'll find out that you don't deserve the things that you have. Let's do the intro.
I'm Jordy Peralta.
And I'm Kevin Peterson.
And I'm Ryan Benoit, and this is SerialPodcastNine. Yeah, we're a podcast, and it's okay. Here we go. All right. Hey, how's everyone doing?
Good.
No complaints?
Oh, that's good.
Living the
That's
dream.
the best I
How you
can
doing,
do. Ryan? I'm pretty good. Turns out my beer is blue tonight, and I was very excited about that. So that's a fun thing. Hey, other news. I was asked a question some time ago, and it was actually right before we went on Drift Week. So I must have just been bam, out of my mind. And I stopped thinking about things, and we didn't do a podcast for a long time after that. Anyway, the question is from David, or as the internet might know him, 1JZJZS. So
nice.
1JZ, the red GS.
The red GS,
Yeah,
1J in it.
Very nice. I didn't say that I was going to tell him in the messages, hey, your car is A-okay. But then I was like, no, I'll do it on the internet and a voice recording. All right. From February 13th, the day before Kevin and I left for Drift Week. Hey, Ryan, I wanted to ask you personally, but figured it's a good enough question for the podcast. My girlfriend and I have been steadily planning out our future and looking to move out of Florida. Maybe even out of the U.S. Any insight or advice would be greatly appreciated. I'm worried about cost of living, bringing my car with me, and VIs. In Florida, everything is legal to drive on the road. Appreciate you and the guys, man. Now, then there was a follow-up part, and he said, yo, Ryan, still waiting for you guys to answer my question about possibly moving to Canada. Worried about bringing my car over country lines and life in general. And I was like, yo, I'm real sorry. I really dropped the ball. But also, hilariously, I almost feel like this is... pardon the pun, out of our wheelhouse because it's like immigrations and shit. But we could try. So I thought this.
I mean, we could just give our opinion as.
Kevin, I came up with a clever name for a segment.
I'm sorry. Okay, sick, awesome.
Oh, okay, yeah, great. Hey, yeah. I thought the segment could be called something along the lines of, unqualified question or unqualified answers with qualified guys or something along those lines. When I said I had
I thought you already hashed it out. Yeah.
No, I was gonna. Yeah, but the thing is, initially you didn't give me the go ahead. In an improv, I've heard you're supposed to say yes and as soon as you didn't yes and me, I got real nervous. And then
I didn't know we were improvising it.
This whole podcast, it's hours of us improvising everything. I don't know if you know this. We don't have a scripted podcast. Well, anyway,
know that.
I got it. Three big dummies try to answer a question that they have no business trying to answer and go.
Well, that's not true because part of his question is how is what do you think about Canada and the cars and the VIs and the living and the cost of living.
Sure, but we don't know where he's going in Canada.
No,
well, he was talking about. I mean, he did mention VIs,
I mean,
and honestly, like something.
You can get VIs everywhere. Cops cannot like you anywhere.
Well, I mean, we can talk about that generally. Like, where would you want? Like, what? Here's an advantage.
We're talking about it right
Vancouver.
now. We're already talking about it. So
we're already in it, man.
Yeah.
Also,
exactly.
Okay.
I think we've actually hilariously answered the question, like, where would you go in Canada if you were into cars?
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys remember the answer? Where the best city is?
Vancouver.
No. Again, you big dummy.
Calgary.
No, I definitely don't.
Manitoba.
It was we all agreed Calgary.
Yeah.
It was Calgary
because Calgary.
Yeah, I take it back. Fuck Calgary. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't. You'd just be living there for the car scene, like.
Have you been to Calgary?
Yes.
When?
I haven't like hung out in Calgary, but I've been there.
What does that mean?
I've driven through it a few times.
Did you stop?
Yes, we stopped, but we stopped.
How long ago was that? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. How long ago was this?
Was this the last time? Like,
2019.
Was the only time when we went with Daryl?
Yeah. No, actually, that's not true. I think I've been there once before, but like I was like way younger and shit, so I like whatever.
All right. Calgary realistically isn't so bad. It's more affordable than Vancouver.
Really so bad. Yes,
yeah,
that's honestly, not true. Like, some places are super bad.
Dude, the heat is gone. The heat is gone. Like no, I can knock on wood a bit, but like
yeah,
I don't see that. I don't see that many cops anymore. It feels like.
Well, like there's only one way to test this. Start driving the Altezza every day.
I don't think that's gonna happen. That just seems like unnecessary risk, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, exactly. I'm probably going to be driving the Blit here and there again, and it's definitely way crazier than it was. It's going to be way crazier than it was last year.
Yeah, but you always drive the Blit, and you don't live in the heaty area. You live by your neighborhood. I think I drove over a fire extinguisher in the Prius as a FYI to your neighborhood.
A fire extinguisher?
Was on the highway. When I crossed over the border, and I'm pretty sure, well, I did. I drove over it, and I think it was a fire extinguisher because I found a pin that looked like it belonged in a fire extinguisher stuck in the under shield plastic in the Prius. So that means I set off a fire extinguisher
on the road.
Yeah,
it was. Hang on. It was really late, and I was driving back from Portland.
And you were drunk.
I wasn't drunk. I don't do that. But it was one of those things where I was pretty tired. I was talking to Jody, and it was one of those things where it was like, okay, like, yo, what is that? And then like, do I swerve and risk whatever that is?
Too, you know?
Yeah. Gerard, you did that in the Prius too. You ran over a dead animal.
Yeah, I ran over a dead.
Were you drunk? Huh? Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I mean,
you almost hit a turkey. You almost hit a turkey on the highway too, right? That chicken was just trying to cross the road. Hey, why the chicken try to cross the road? And then Gerard was just gunning for it. Also, that turkey was huge. As a side.
I mean, turkeys are large.
They are large. It was like a Thanksgiving turkey just walking around in Oregon. Anyway, this isn't what we're here for.
No, it is. That's what the people want. They want turkey.
Yeah, this is improv. See, that was us always saying yes and that's how we got to turkeys in Medford. Okay. Okay.
Couple
all
things.
Right.
Let me ask you. Oh, shit.
Okay.
Sure. All right. You're the boss. Hit it.
All right. Back to living in Canada. Car culture.
Right.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like there's all sorts of different places in Canada, and the car culture and the affordability are different.
Okay, but if you're into cars,
the access to things are different as well. You know.
Okay, George,
if you're an American, I feel like if you're an American, you probably, and you're like, okay, I'm going to uproot my entire life and move to Canada. I feel like you might want to have a little bit of like a connection or like what's the word?
An escape run.
Yeah,
an escape run.
Like you could just,
or just come up here like a bunch of times beforehand to really
what I mean, what I was saying, like maybe you just need to go home, quote unquote, like once in a while, you know what I mean? And just to feel the Americanness of America versus Canada. If you really miss, buying beer at 7-Eleven and shit, right? So obviously for me, I think where we live is pretty cool. Obviously the VI situation was terrible. Seemingly has sort of died down.
I mean, the drifting is definitely back, and we have a lot of drift events like near us. Like, I mean, like Final Bout is what, 8 hours away?
I feel like it's still so smaller than the States, though. You know what I mean? Like,
right, but I mean, like, are there more drift events in Saskatchewan? Are there more drift events in Calgary?
No.
I mean, there's probably a bunch of drift events in the east, but they're very like
Edmonton, Alberta has drift events, doesn't they? They have.
Yeah,
I don't know for sure, but I mean, do they have like? Can you just go down to what's below Edmonton or what's below Alberta?
There's like
nothing
below Edmonton's Calgary.
No, I meant like.
But there's like,
Idaho.
But yeah, that's what I mean. It's like I kind of like
Idaho's got
kind of open my eyes about how many like tracks there are and drift events that are going on, sort of like all the time everywhere in the States, and like also the car culture and just like being able to do sort of whatever you want, and it's not like that where we are, you know?
Yeah. Car culture doesn't run as deep in Canada, and Kevin is right. It's like
we don't have that American graffiti, you know?
Yeah.
Well, also Vancouver, where we live, is very anti-car culture. Like the people.
I mean, I feel like maybe like Saskatchewan and like Alberta and Calgary. It is more.
But then you have to live in Saskatchewan.
I know, exactly.
That's why I picked Calgary as a happy medium. There are a bunch of cool cars in Calgary, like cars that have been in magazines. There's a lot of cool shit that happens there. I don't know.
Keep in mind he's from Florida, so I assume he's near the water, like he's somewhere near the water, which is kind of tight. The weather's pretty sick in Florida. Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
So,
but also.
Okay.
Keep in mind, like, I don't know. There's no tactful way to say this, and I'm not going to assume anything about anyone. But like, the political climate of Vancouver is much different than the political climate, climate of Florida.
Maybe that's part of the reason why he's trying to make a break for Canada. You know?
Yeah, maybe. So there's that.
You're going to the wrong country if you're talking politics. Like, you know what I mean? We're like slowly getting fucked here.
That's not what I was saying. Now you've made it into a whole other thing that we're not going to talk about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
BC or Vancouver is as like left leaning as you can probably get in.
Oh, like in Canada? Oh yeah.
Yeah, like we're pretty like Vancouver is pretty hippie.
Florida's kind of the complete opposite of that.
And I'm sure there are pockets, and Florida is like kind of was a swing state, and there's different things going on. But I'm not assuming anyone's political views. But I would also say that if you're thinking of moving to Vancouver, you better get ready for some like very liberal lefty living, and that's fine if you're into it. That would be another thing to consider. I think if depending on your age and what you do, if you can like get over the border on a work visa would probably matter as well. Like I know for Canadians to go work in the US, it's very hard unless they like are in a role or in a job that like is in demand. So you have to take that into consideration if you can actually get here, if you can work, what that process looks like. Bringing your car over itself shouldn't be a problem.
The easiest part of the equation, yeah.
The easiest part. David's car is a GS, I think, and there would be the only thing you'd have to do is get that thing. Like if you wanted to drive it on the streets, you'd have to get an out of province safety for it. Once you get it here, I don't even know what they would, because you're driving it over. It is your car. You would have to prove your ownership of the car when you go to register it. But other than that,
problem is I guarantee you, if he moved to Canada, he wouldn't be driving that car for very long.
Why?
Because we have the 15-year rule, and now all of a sudden you're open to all these other cool new cars or cool cars that you can't get in the States, or you can't legally or easily get. I mean, I guess he lives in Florida. You could probably fucking insure anything.
Yeah, exactly. So they're all doing whatever they want down there.
But I mean, I heard
very different than here.
I heard that that's sort of been cracked down on. I don't know how Florida is or whatever, but I know people that have had gray or black market cars have had them confiscated.
Yeah, there was like a huge thing where there was like 1,300 VINs, and they all got the VINs got taken back.
Yeah.
But
so
like that,
if you want to drive a legal 15-year-old JDM car, Canada's the place to do it.
Right. But then that begs the question. It's like, okay, he's got a 1J powered GS 300.
Correct.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to say this and you're going to be like, oh, there's so many options. But like, what are...
Yeah, it's
what's
pretty
the
sick,
other... Yeah, it's pretty sick. Like, what's the next move from there? A 100? A 110? Like, what's a guy...
I mean, you can get a 110. It's the same car, but it's lighter and smaller. But I mean, yeah, maybe he just really likes that car. I'm just saying, like,
I mean,
once the options
it's
open
essentially
up, like,
almost the same car I have, and it's not like, oh my god, I need like a 100 or a 110. You know,
yeah, but you have an Aristo. You don't have a GS.
Well, I mean, I know, but say it again. No,
it's quite a bit different. Like, I'm not saying that. Like, obviously, what he has now is
it's dope,
fairly similar to what you have now.
Yeah,
but I mean to be a factory 2JZ car with all this shit. Yeah, the red is tight. Like,
yeah, the red is so sick.
Big red sedan is
so good. Always red Toyota sedan. That's the jam, mother. Okay, back on track. I got real carried away. So, okay, what was the actual point of get worried about bringing the car over country lines? Yeah, life in general.
No, don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry about the car.
Does he have a family? Like, what is he single?
I don't know. He didn't say. I would have to go through everything. Here's a funny story about me. Well, I go through his profile to try to figure out if he has kids. Because if you were to go through my profile, you'd very quickly realize I have a child. Mm-hmm. Anyway,
yes.
I'm just killing time with what I'm doing. This is what in the biz is what we call style. It's not that funny. My brother messaged me and was like, "Hey, it's really funny. All your videos of June just make it look like you're a single dad, just trying his best."
Who wrote that?
My brother sent it to me. He's like, "Yeah, it kind of just looks like you're a single dad, just trying his best out there." I was like, "Yeah, I get it. It kind of does look like that." Okay. David's account only has about 10 pictures on it, and one is him being angry at the stock engine in the car, and then it coming out, and then a 1J going in the car when it was silver, and then you like this one, Gerard. You liked it when it was a different color, and then you liked it. Does it have your hood on it?
I'm not sure. I think it does, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it might. And then it in red, which is just the best. So the only problem you'd have bringing your car over the borders is I would be very envious of the color of your car. that is your biggest concern. You'd get it through safety, or you'd get it figured out somehow, or if you just wanted it to be a track car, you could do that. I think you would probably be alarmed by the amount of taxes that we pay, I think. Is that fair?
That's a good one.
I don't know. Yeah, that might be.
I don't know.
A
like,
thing.
what's Florida?
Yeah, what's Florida tax?
I don't think Florida tax is very high, and I think
6%.
Yeah,
general sales
double that
is 6%. Yeah, so double that.
And then just like the cost of everything. If you chose Vancouver because we all really like your car and you wanted to hang out here, which would be great, everything would be even more expensive. Vancouver is one of the most expensive cities in North America to live in. So very pricey to live here. Obviously, the further you go out, the cheaper it gets. But that's a thing to figure out. And then it depends on the type of work that you do and how you could afford the lifestyle that you want. You'd have access to. You got one track to drift in. You come to Vancouver. You can drift at Mission. You can drive the 2.5 hours and go to Evergreen, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
The other thing, if you were American,
I guess say you're American this summer. That's cool.
Yeah, but this is the thing: is like kind of all the things that are a little bit more exciting. The more you want to drive and see things, as an American, it almost makes sense just to live in the Pacific Northwest.
I was just gonna say, honestly, his relocation should just be the PNW.
Yeah,
Because like the PNW has a great scene. It's super close to us. If you like cared to come up and hang out, and like we always go down there anyways. But also like it's like alive and like well, and there are a lot of that type of car and that type of drifting in the PNW.
Yeah, like Aaron Levitt lives in Everett, which is like an hour and some away, we'll say, like an hour and a half or whatever. And he's always drifting everywhere, all over the place. Obviously, it's a commitment. He does it, but like that's and I would imagine
it's
even
definitely
if you
a
were
possible
like,
thing to do.
yeah, you could live in Bellingham. I don't know what you do, but like
I don't know what the fuck you'd want to live in Bellingham for, my man.
Yeah,
I don't know. Some people love rural-ish places. I mean
that's true.
Near the border,
Maybe if you want to like just live in buttfuck nowhere, sure.
But like realistically, Bellingham's not like awful. I don't know.
No, it's not awful, but I mean, like, if you're gonna live in Bellingham, why would
you live in Everett or Bellingham?
I'm not totally. I don't know too much about Everett. Yeah, I mean, Bellingham's not the worst.
Everett's pretty ghetto.
Yeah, I'd live in Linwood, I think. I don't know. I just judge neighborhoods if there's a Whole Foods or not, and then that's how I choose if I would.
So you're saying you
stop there to go to the bathroom? Is that where I live? Maybe.
I mean, that's like that, like the bougie part of like fucking Seattle or whatever.
Isn't that the place you like? What's the area? Oh, you like Capitol Hill.
I do spend time in Bellevue, yes.
And in
Bellingview.
I said
Bellevue. What was the other place I was in that had I live in like whatever the hipster place was. Let's be real. I would just live wherever it was like
right in
Seattle.
Seattle.
Portland. I live in Portland. Everyone gets mad whenever I say that. No,
but or Vancouver, Oregon, or whatever, or Vancouver, Washington. Sorry.
Washington, you big dumb. Sorry. It's right on the border, so it's
it's on the border. But yeah, I mean, like, all the YC boys live in Vancouver and shit. So
who does?
So icy.
Oh, I thought.
Swicey.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Swicey, man.
Yeah, there's a really good car scene in the Pacific Northwest. It is very nice, and then you look. I love being Canadian. I do. There's lots of great things about it, but I don't know if it's for everyone. You like not paying for healthcare? Perfect. Come on in. Doors are open.
But also,
but yeah, it might be a bit of a shock in work. I don't know. Yeah, what's up?
I mean, if you like water, you like mountains, you like snow, you like nice weather, fucking Vancouver or BC is where it's at.
We got.
That stuff also.
You like outdoor adventure sports.
Yeah, you like really nice. Like you'd like a really nice place to live with like lots to offer, but it's really fucking expensive. That's where we live.
And if you want to live someplace. Say your thing.
I just said the PNW has most of that. I think it's just like you have to be selective if you want to be on the water.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like in Washington, you're not really probably going to live in a place that's on the water unless it's like Seattle-ish, I guess. But
anything that's on the water in Washington in that area is probably fucking really expensive.
Otherwise you're like living,
which is on the water.
Yeah,
which actually connects to the ocean, which is fucking
lake
weird.
Well, if it's a lake, then it wouldn't connect to the ocean. But
it actually does, though. It's really weird.
But then, is it a lake? You can for sure a lake.
You can Google it. It's lake.
I'm not going to. I'm just going to take you out.
No, like Jamie, pull that up.
No, yeah.
Because I was like, dude, how do they get these big fucking boats? That lake is so big. The boats they have are so fucking big. I'm like, there's no way these are lake boats. It's
we were in the car when you talked about this, didn't we?
Oh, like in between Bellevue and Seattle.
Yeah, that giant lake. Isn't it called Lake Washington?
It's called Lake Washington. It's a freshwater lake popular for fishing. But yeah, it does look like you can run out to the ocean through this channel.
Yeah, which is, I think, how they get these fucking massive boats in there. I don't know.
I like that in all the years that you've lived here, it feels like you just discovered this lake on our last road trip.
No. I've known about the lake. It's just that when I went last time with Kat, I spent time looking at the because it was like a beautiful day and stuff, and there were so many people out on the
So I
water.
took my wife to go look at a bridge. No, go on.
No, because that bridge goes across the entire lake, and it's a huge bridge, and it's right on the water, like it's low. But then the crazy part was, A, the waves were so big that I'm like, is this the ocean? Because the waves were so big. And then B, the boats were so big. I was like, is this the ocean? So then I had to Google it because I was like, this does not look in any way, shape, or form like a lake.
Oh man!
But then maybe I've just never been exposed to lakes that are that big. So
I want to make a meme for the first time in my life of that anime with the dude with the butterfly.
Yeah.
And it'll be like Lake Washington, and then it'll be like Gerard. It's like, is this an ocean? Anyway, I don't know. Great. Yeah, it's like in my head, it's a lot funnier. It's fine. So now that we're done with being the tourism board for Seattle, yeah. So David, I think you should at least come to the Pacific Northwest. If you're not feeling Florida, come live here for a bit. I don't know anything about your life, what you do, how old you are. You got a sick car. Come hang out. Just be in the area, in the vicinity. Move and experience life. We got great beer in the Pacific Northwest. Pretty neat weather. A lot of forests. They filmed the Twilight Saga in up here, I think.
They're really winning.
Come check it out. Yeah. You know? Yeah, I know what you are. Okay. Perfect. Come visit. Come hang out. I love it. Anyway, I think as far as I guarantee. As far as the paperwork to come to Canada, if you want to do that, I don't know. I'm not a customs.
We got a guy.
Yeah.
Do we?
No.
We have a guy?
It's a joke.
Oh. Sometimes I don't understand your sarcasm, and it's funny to me.
That's not really sarcasm, though, is that?
It's not really sarcasm.
Well, it's not real, though. I guess it's not sarcasm, but it's not. It's all right. Okay, fine. Let me rephrase this. Sometimes I don't understand your jokes, Gerard.
Ooh.
Okay, great. I feel like we wrapped that one up in a neat little package, and we did it in a solid 4 hours. So that was really good.
That's good. That's a good one for us too.
Yeah, solid. Now let's move on to our next topic. What did I say? I said it jokingly, and then Gerard was like, "Yeah, we could talk about that." Imposter syndrome?
Yeah, I was like, what are you even talking about?
Kevin's never even experienced it because he's so sure of who he is and where he belongs in the world. It's never crept up into his mind. You know, most people...
Lake Washington Ship Canal.
For fuck's sakes, Gerard.
Connects the freshwater body of Lake Washington to the saltwater of Puget Sound.
What the fuck? Didn't we do this already? We just wrapped that.
No, we're learning now.
No, but now now you can get those big ass boats into fucking Lake Washington.
How does that affect you? Are you gonna get a big ass boat? Are you gonna have it in Lake Washington?
No, because maybe if I have
it might affect this guy though. Maybe he needs to have
because like a lot of people in Florida got boats.
Yeah, maybe they got shipping containers. You know, they own shipping canal boats. Like
maybe that's what David does. Yeah, all right. David, if you have any follow-up questions, I
listen to this stuff.
recommend asking someone who knows anything about this. That isn't us.
Listen to this. This is actually kind of funny. Some say boating in the Pacific North.
Hang on. Is it going to be real funny or Gerard funny? Okay, go.
Well, I mean, if it's to do with the country and like where you want to move, it's just
no. I was taking a shot. Just say it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And I just dismissed you, so that was. That was my joke.
Funny.
Yeah.
That's not funny. That's not comedy.
Okay, so say boating in the PNW is better than anywhere else in the country.
Oh, nice.
Right? It comes with a little weather during the winter, but scenery it brings surpasses any hurdles along the way. And the fact that we could take boats from Lake Washington all the way out to the ocean makes for unique boating. So that means if you had a boat in the lake, you're like, oh shit, I want to go like fucking to BC, you could fucking boat to BC. That's kind of sick.
It feels like it's a lot of work, though, isn't it?
I mean, if it's just fucking driving a boat for 2 or 3 hours, sure. 4 or 5 hours.
Then you got to like find. I don't know how it works when you go.
Then you got to
like
find boat parking. And
is there a marina passport?
And then there is a passport. Yeah,
you fully have to like stop and like
Oh, that's cool.
When you get off.
Yeah, they'll check you. So you'd have to go someplace where there's an agent, I guess, because they're not just going to drive an agent out to you and be like, "Where are you?" Anyway, fuck.
You just take a boat from Florida to Lake Washington.
How are you going to do that, Gerard?
I don't know. Fucking take
How are you going to do that?
Just around the Cape.
Around the Cape? Is it? Is that the way? Oh boy. What are the ways you could go? You could go through the canal. Yeah?
The canal.
The Panama Canal. Or you could wait for the ice to break up and go through the Arctic. Are we done with this? That's not a boat, Kevin. Not a boat.
The helicopter could carry your boat, though.
Yeah, exactly.
How big is the boat? This is the dumbest episode we've ever done.
It doesn't have to be that big now because you got a helicopter.
Hey, what would you rather, a boat or a helicopter?
You're gonna drive from Florida
Obviously
to
a helicopter.
That's a pretty big drive, man. Maybe it's better just to take a boat.
Would rather have a helicopter than a boat, Kevin?
Mm-hmm.
Think about this practically.
What kind of
How
question?
Much? Okay, so I get you a helicopter. You got to get a helicopter license. How much is that out of pocket?
Probably like $80,000.
Okay, if I get you a boat, how much is it to get a boat license out of pocket?
I think it was like $100.
I already got it. I don't. Yeah.
So, which one do you think you're gonna have more fun with immediately? A helicopter.
I mean, I could go and like hang out in a helicopter, turn it on and shit. That's pretty.
Yeah, exactly. Gerard would just be out there revving the piss out of a helicopter.
Maybe you could hover it like 1 foot above the ground without any much training.
I don't know. It seems pretty dangerous.
Yeah, know what's funny? I watched that movie.
You could fully fuck up, I bet.
About how they caught Saddam Hussein.
What are you talking about right now?
There's that movie.
Who are you?
It's called
Team World Police.
No.
Three Kings.
What a movie.
Anyways, it was a movie about how they captured and killed Saddam Hussein or whatever. But anyways, it's pretty funny because they had these crazy fucking helicopters that they had to fly in and basically land on his property. But they crashed one of them like right at the fucking right on his property because I guess they flew too close to like this concrete fence, and the downdraft shot the helicopter over. So they're trying to be all stealth because they had these crazy experimental stealth helicopters.
Oh, it's an experimental. It's not like a Black Hawk, which I know from the movie
it's
Black
fully
Hawk
like
Down.
a helicopter that was not released or that nobody had ever flown it before because whatever. But anyways, yeah, they.
This sounds pretty made up. Are you sure you weren't watching a Transformers movie or the new Fast and Furious?
Yeah, is it Michael Bay?
Yeah, was this Michael Bay? He's in cahoots with the American government a lot on things. He also reused a shot from his Battleship movie with Rihanna in a Transformers movie. Just so you know, he recycles his shots.
Oh no, isn't there like a bunch of recycled shots?
Yeah, for sure. Also, like Baloo from the Jungle Book is recycled into a character, I think. Oh, and Robin Hood, the one with the fox. Anyway, that's not what we're here for. Gerard, tell us about this made-up movie that you made up.
Oh, sorry, it wasn't Saddam Hussein. Sorry, man. It was Osama bin Laden. That was my bad. It's just Zero Dark Thirty. Anyways, yeah, I don't know why.
Oh yeah, no, that's a real movie. That's yeah.
Yeah. It was Osama bin Laden. Sorry. Anyways, yeah, they crashed one of the helicopters, which I thought was ridiculous because these are trained crazy dudes with this crazy computerized helicopter, and they just literally crash it 8 feet off the ground. It's pretty.
It still feels like experimental ass shit, though. You know what I mean? It sounds predictable a bit.
Yeah, and I think it was because helicopters are kind of weird that way, because they generate that.
What the fuck are we talking about?
To fly out.
You were asking me which way I'd rather have, a helicopter or a boat.
I know, but now we're talking about helicopters. Oh, they're a little bit weird that way. Yeah, they're not congruent to the concrete fence all the time. And then sometimes they get a bit of a, what was it? A what was the word?
Downdraft.
Downdraft.
No. you're driving your BMW and the transmission does a what?
Judder.
And then the helicopter judders a bit, and then you crash it.
Basically, that's probably exactly what happened.
Fuck my life. Okay, go on. All right. So they
which
crash
part of your life?
Right, every part of it right now in this moment. It's all happening all at once. Everything, everywhere, all at once. Okay. Yeah. Do we still want to talk about Zero Dark 30? Is that what we're here for?
All right, let's talk about American Sniper.
Okay, hold on. Last thing. Okay, so it's called a vortex ring state.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, that sounds so sick.
Yeah, so what happens is it's a dangerous aerodynamic condition that may arise in a helicopter. So basically it loses lift because
the air going down, like vortex rings back and top pushes like
exactly because there's a wall or something for it to fucking bounce off against.
Like a donut of air.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's got a picture here of the donut around, and yeah.
Oh shit! We should start a whole other separate media channel dedicated to this donut of air. Just call it Donut Media.
For some reason, I thought you were about to be like, "Oh shit!" Like we haven't been recording.
Oh man, that'd be even worse. Could you imagine if I had to go through all of this again?
Yeah. So the occurrence is encounters this condition when attempting to hover out of ground effect. So maintaining precise altitude, and yeah. So basically, they're hovering, and it's like they fuck up, and then it just falls down to the ground and crashes. So.
Okay. So for those of you just tuning in, Gerard is giving us just
maybe there's some helicopter
movie that he saw.
Podcast.
Yeah, I bet people are going to.
So Gerard watched another movie, and now he's just giving us a play. You know,
I just thought it was ridiculous that they crashed a helicopter like off the ground, like literally right off the ground. Like I thought it was fucking stupid.
Well, let's let you fly a helicopter to go.
All right, now Gerard, can you please answer me this question?
Yes.
Would you rather have if Ryan were to give you a boat or a helicopter, which one would you rather have?
I mean, what kind of boat is it? It'd have to be a pretty fucking fancy ass boat to compare with a helicopter.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't fly a helicopter. Neither of you can fly a helicopter.
It doesn't matter. It's still a helicopter.
You can probably learn it on Flight Simulator.
This is the perfect like SerialNine thing. It's like I'll give you the most practical thing you could have, or something that's like dope as shit, but you can't use. And you're like, yeah, give me the dopest shit. It's more practical than the helicopter that you.
Okay, let me ask you this, Ryan. You walk into a room, you walk into a party, and you see this beautiful girl.
And there's a boat.
You're talking to this beautiful girl. No, you're talking to this beautiful girl, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that's cool." You'd be like, "Yeah, I have a helicopter," or you're gonna say, "Yeah, I have a boat." I mean, it could be a boat. That's cool,
I'm not a
but it'd have to be a big ass boat to compare with a helicopter.
You know what I'm gonna do, Gerard? I'm gonna ask her.
I love how your initial response is just like, well, I'm gonna use one of these vehicles to pick up women.
No, I just mean like what's more impressive.
You know what I'm gonna do, Gerard?
Your friends, like, I'm gonna. Yo, I just got a helicopter, or yo, I just got a boat. Like, obviously,
yeah, but then they're like, yo, can I go for a ride? And you're like, no, nobody's illegally.
No, I guarantee you, the first reaction from any guy, if you say I got a helicopter, is gonna be like, yo, that's sick. They're not gonna be like, hey, can I take a ride in it? They're just gonna be like, yo, that's sick.
Yeah, and then the second thing they'll say, what would we get?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You'd be like, yeah, not yet. Like.
Yeah, not ever, because I need $80,000 to learn how to fly this thing.
That's not true, because you could hire someone to fly it for you.
Which should also probably cost
helicopter.
And the also, yeah, like,
or you could drive your boat like a real man, you know. Anyway.
You still haven't told me what kind of boat it is, bro.
I don't know. Something comparable to a helicopter, I guess.
Okay, well then I might take the boat, because obviously a comparable boat would probably be pretty sick. I'll take the biggest boat that my truck can tow, which is a pretty big fucking boat.
Are you bragging about your truck now?
I saw one of those like Chevy top kicks today, like the full pickup truck one, towing the most ridiculous boat.
Yeah,
like pretty close to the shop. I was like, holy shit.
All right, if the boat is comparable to a helicopter, you're gonna take a boat. or no? You're still going.
Yeah,
Kevin's taking the helicopter no matter what. I think.
No, but yeah, for sure.
There's no way Kevin's not.
I was about to say, like, unless like I can land my helicopter on Gerard's boat, like I'm getting the better end of the deal. But if like his boat's so big that I can land my helicopter on it, he might be getting a better
Perfect
deal.
Team.
But
yeah, that'd be rad. Okay.
Then we're a great team.
Definitely not.
We're an amazing team, you know.
Yeah.
At that point,
I would get a boat. This is most.
I know
practical.
you would.
More
You just laughed at our helicopter.
You said you'd get a boat if it was the same as you are on team boat right now. What are you doing?
I know that. I'm just saying you don't need to tell us that you'd get a boat because you've already made it very clear.
Yeah, we all know
you
you get the boat.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna learn how to fly a helicopter. That's God damn it. I don't have time for that. Or money to do that.
Yeah, I'm over here learning karate. I can't be learning how to fly a helicopter.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta go take June to karate classes and learn it myself. Embarrassingly. Okay.
Oh, this one has triple axle.
This is the weirdest podcast we've ever done. I love it.
Far from it.
Far from all of our
You
podcasts.
don't think this is the weirdest? Okay, fine. Okay, all right.
Talking about boats. I mean, we have a lot of friends with boats, don't we? Like Carter.
Yeah, they're gonna be, and now they're gonna not listen to it. They're gonna be mad because we poo-pooed boats.
I mean, I guarantee you half of these boat people be like, "Yo, I took a helicopter."
Yeah, but no, boat's more realistic.
Yeah. Also, I'm not entirely even sure based on Gerard's shallow.
I think the last time we talked about this, I was just like, yeah, you know, like a canoe. And then you guys got really mad at me. I'm like, it's technically a fucking boat.
Yeah. I was gonna say, based on Gerard's shallow answer for why he'd want either, is like at a party to impress women. And just so you know, Gerard, the boat that you would get would be too big to sail in those shallow waters of why you'd want it. But get it because you're being anyway. Shallow reasons. There you go.
Yes, I got it.
Bingo. Okay. I feel like they would be impressed either way. Carter Jackson, people are lining up to get on his boat. They're just like, hey, can I come on? You know, like,
yeah, for sure.
You got a boat? Yeah, you got anything people don't have. They want a piece of it. So it doesn't matter. You do what you love, Gerard. Do you love to fly helicopters or do you love to drive a boat? Choose what you love, you know? And I don't know if you love either of those things. Are either of those things that you're passionate about?
Okay, how about this? I actually have the perfect example, and Kevin and I were going to go and like actually watch this back in the day. I would take a boat. Listen to this. I would take a boat powered by 2 helicopter engines. Perfect. And it's called Miss Geico, and they're offshore racing boats, actually from Florida in the Keys. So there you go. That's what I would take.
Holy shit!
A helicopter.
Holy shit!
There you go, buddy.
Did you look it up, Miss Geico?
No,
just look
I'm
it up.
not going
it's
to.
Literally the sickest boat you'll ever see.
I'll take you at your word. I can't believe you went full circle on this. Holy shit! Why are we even talking about helicopters? I missed it. Whatever.
Yeah, but like, because I could literally have a helicopter, you know, lift up the shipping container, got the car in it, fly it somewhere, put the helicopter.
Well, I mean, not really, because that would have to be like a pretty gangster helicopter.
Yeah, I get like a Chinook.
What if you had like those stupid like weather helicopters, you know, like new 7 fucking
like
RD5
in the sky, like what about like the Batman, like Adam?
I knew
West
we were going
Batman,
there.
Airwolf,
yeah.
The Batcopter, or like Airwolf, like where it's like dude. When I was at the Pima Air and Space Museum, they had like so many of these hilarious tiny little like one-man homemade helicopter contraptions that like was like so like really scary almost. Like you're just like, yo, like you built this shit and like used it and like, you know, or like,
oh, I think I know what you're talking about. They're like a little tiny canopy with like a spindly like tail section. Yeah, I've seen those. They're fucked. Like,
dude, even one like there was one that was almost like a jetpack, like it would go over your shoulders like a roller coaster. You know what I mean? Like you stood into it and like, yeah, that's what I mean. It was like some of them were like so bonkers. And this like,
hey, do you want to die? Here's how.
Yeah, man, the history of flight. You know, like, yeah.
Anyway, okay, good. Fuck, what the fuck, man? Why did we talk about that?
You brought it up.
Talking about boats.
Did I bring up helicopters or boats?
Yeah,
Yeah,
said
you
what
asked
you'd
me
rather
which one I
have,
wanted.
huh?
I want a nautical
shit.
themed Pashmina Afghan. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck. Is this my fault? I did this?
You brought this
Jesus.
upon you. The entire podcast is you, buddy.
You want to
I
know the
did-
craziest
oh
part
my-
about that Miss Geico? It's
I'm having
52
a
feet
real
long.
like memento moment right now. Like, what did I do? Okay.
Hey, it's 52 feet long, but it's so wide that when they tow it on a trailer, it has to be towed sideways on a fucking full-length flat deck. It's so cool, and you have to unload it with a crane. How like fucking cool is that? Probably cost you
isn't that how like all those
$15,000.
like isn't that how all those
Why do they have
crazy
to tow
boats
it
that go to like the
everywhere?
Lake of the Ozarks are as well?
Yeah.
They're like completely like on an angle because they're so wide.
Yeah, how big of a flex is that? Like, hey, look at my fucking boat on display that like is so big that I can't even fit it on the road, and it goes 200 miles an hour.
So I got a quick question though.
Yes,
I believe
Kevin.
that pretty recently you were like, yo, like all those dudes with bulldozers, trucks, guaranteed.
Have boats?
I was like, basically, you said that like all those dudes who have brodozers for sure have tiny penises. That's why they got the brodozers.
I didn't say
sure.
all, but I said it's probably a pretty common. Like,
So, do you think all these dudes with $200,000 boats also have tiny penises? Like, it seems like a bigger
yeah.
thing.
Oh yeah.
You know?
I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
I wouldn't say all, but like, I'd say.
I mean,
that's why I said there's got to be some sort of measure. Like, I bet you there's like if you could, what's the word?
You know, someone out there is being like, all these dudes with like high horsepower or done up or loud cars all have small
penises.
penises.
Yo, you got a small dick for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, the fact of the matter
don't
is,
worry, Gerard will shout on the
podcast
podcast that he doesn't. Okay.
No, I'm just saying, yeah, it's just like a fact of the matter that not everybody can have a small dick and not everyone can have a big dick. So somebody in that crowd's gonna have a medium or big or small dick.
Maybe people just fucking like giant boats. Maybe they got a lot of money. Or maybe they are. Maybe they just are bad people. I bet you there's good and bad people everywhere in every scene.
Maybe
what
it's
about
not
that?
52 feet long. It seems shorter. Anyways.
That's what she said. Okay. All right. So what do you want to talk about now?
What do you want to do when you're older?
Fucking
me or you?
Buy a helicopter.
Do you think you're gonna marry your crush?
What?
Are you gonna move out of our hometown?
I feel like you've just written a song. And that was just nice.
No, I just feel like I was just like, it feels like we're like having a slumber party right now. You're
yeah.
Well, now. And I was like, all right, well, like, I'm gonna play into that.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. Are you gonna move out of your hometown? Is a question you asked at slumber parties.
I don't know.
Kevin's like I'm getting out of Richmond, and he like moves to Vancouver. Okay.
I was pretending I was you, buddy.
Oh, yeah. Are you gonna marry your crush?
I was playing.
Yes, and okay, I like that. What would you like to talk about now? You want to try to talk? You want to try to talk about imposter syndrome? You want to try to talk about BMWs? You want to try to talk about? I mean, I sent you a message before this, and like, I mean, look, it's my fault. I bring it up. I sent you a message before the podcast started about someone selling a right-hand drive M3.
Yeah.
E46.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, not fully my thing, but I sent a message anyway to find out because like that's a really good price. And then I was kind of thinking,
pretty cool, yeah. It's a cool car.
But then I got concerned. I was like, how many BMWs is Gerard gonna buy? Because like, you haven't flipped any yet. You haven't sold another one. You're just amassing all the BMWs.
Well, I only have two, so I don't think that's really that much. I mean, I bought two Crestas at a time.
How many cars do you have in total right now, Gerard?
Gerard's like that Nelly song about Air Force Ones, and he's like, "Yo, when I buy them, give me two of those." You know, he just buys cars two.
Yeah.
It's like I'm gonna buy that. Might as well buy two of them. I mean, I don't know, whatever.
He's also like that Nelly song where they take like the Moving On Up theme and like change it around a little bit. Yeah. Now we up in the big leagues. Yeah. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's also Gerard. But then also when we do a podcast, it's always a little hot in here because he doesn't have a shirt on.
The whole Nelly.
It's funny because I'm listening to CDs in the 130, and
yeah.
There was some Nelly in there.
Are you gonna buy another BMW in the next 2 weeks? Like, what's happening here?
Not 2 weeks. Well, I have to fix a headliner in the 130 and then post it up for sale because the guy backed out. Who it was sort of sold to.
But he likes the blue one, doesn't he?
The blue is the 130, correct? Yeah.
Oh, that is the one.
Great car,
that was the one.
And then I have another little issue to fix on the white car and then repost it. I wanted to make a new ad and stuff and then lower the price because I did maybe post it for a little bit much, but
right.
I tried.
Why the blue? Why is the same guy that backed out of the white one backed out of the blue one?
Yeah, he said he lost his job because there's a writer strike right now. He's a stunt driver.
Oh.
And I was like, I don't know if I believe that. And then what's his name was like, yeah, I mean, there's a fucking writer strike right now.
There is a writer strike right now.
So that could definitely affect a lot of because he's in the movie industry, right?
Yeah, film and TV.
And definitely people are getting affected by the writer strike. So there you go, boom.
He's
like, I randomly lost my job on Monday. So I was like, oh fuck. Wish you would have just bought it last week, bro.
Yeah.
Sure, that's a wrong thing to wish someone when they're down on the long. Yeah. Hey. No, what was I gonna ask? Oh, do you remember the last writer's strike?
No.
I feel like it's a while ago. Wasn't that long?
It was. We were around for it, but that was the rise of reality TV.
All right.
That's where that came from. Yeah. Yeah.
Is that like Kardashian?
It was even like mildly before that. Yeah, it was just like anything that was like could be
Housewives of whatever bullshit.
Yeah. Yes, because you didn't have to
Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah, those are all reality TV shows. Anyway, hey, who's your favorite? This is just a fun side for me. Who's your favorite all-time late night talk show host?
I couldn't tell you, brother. Sorry, I didn't watch that stuff. Arsenio Hall.
Great answer, Gerard. I love that you like didn't have. Why? That's a good.
I didn't like Arsenio. I don't know. I didn't watch enough late night. I did watch a few of them, but I don't.
You were out at the clubs.
I mean,
that's where this conversation is going.
Probably.
At the age of 15, he was out at the clubs. 11.
I mean, at the age of 15, I was probably in my garage working on my fucking Cortina or something.
Oh, cool.
Or playing pool in my garage. I had some shitty.
I'm impressed. Neither of you said Jay Leno because he's a car guy. Anyway, I don't like him. That's just me. All right.
No,
we don't need to get into that.
Jay Leno's the worst. He's like the best car guy, but he's like the worst.
Yeah. Fucked over my boy Conan. Anyway. All right.
Yeah, you and Conan are best friends.
I
really
love
take
Conan.
That to heart.
I was very upset. Conan's son, he's a great man. Team Coco every day.
No, I'm not buying a BMW in the next 2 weeks unless I sell both of these cars, and then the answer would be yes.
And then you're buying the wagon, not an M3.
Correct. I can't afford an M3 yet. It would be an E30, or sorry, an E91 335i Touring. So it's a twin turbo wagon.
Man, you're just always going, hey? There's no off switch with you. Never.
Yeah.
Never
honestly,
content.
That's kind of that's a good one. Never content.
Yeah, you should start a company called that.
Yeah.
There's a one that was advertised today. It's called Fake Hero. Have you seen that guy? The guy that CM Media just posted up. Some of the artwork's really sick, actually. I really like it. It's really cool.
Oh, I'll look that up later. Fake Hero?
Yeah, but don't put that in the podcast because we just plugged his ass, so fuck him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Ryan's been doing this.
What have I been doing? Say what I've been doing. I want to know.
Do you ever even know if he puts it in or not?
Yeah.
You got a lot of trust in Ryan, huh?
I do.
Just letting him just
that's nice.
Put out whatever he wants. He could edit your voice to say all sorts of ridiculous things.
I mean, man.
To be fair, Gerard says a lot of ridiculous things, and I take them out.
Yeah.
Unlike Gerard's guardian angel over here, just swatting shit away. Get out of here, evil spirits. Be gone. He know not what he do. Okay, anyway.
So I have some interesting. So you might know or not know this, Ryan.
That's so good, Ryan.
Yeah, my Blit, I can't fit the rear wheels on.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a bit of a fucking problem.
That seems like a very un-Gerard thing to happen.
It is actually a little bit of a very un-Gerard thing. I didn't realize that. I don't know if it's the Blit fitment is so fucking terrible or what, but like the rear wheels currently are 10.5 plus 17, which is a fairly conservative size. The rear fenders are not pulled in any way, but like, yeah, apparently I had maxed out my rear uppers to fit those current wheels. And I thought I was somewhere in the middle and I had another 5 to 10 mil on the adjuster. So I was like, I just get the wheels. The new ones are like 11 plus 6, which is about like 20 mil, 17 mil further out, which is, it's pretty significant, but a few more degrees of camber, she's good, right? But no, like I have no idea how I'm going to fit them on, especially for like Wheat Fest, which is in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
but the fronts are on
creative
today.
Problem solving.
Well, we have a set of old Oni arms, which would give me a fuck ton of rear camber. And then just change the axles to be narrower, and then basically just pull the whole hub in, which was my plan before. Just now I have to run these weird ass arms that we don't sell anymore.
Fine, you can do it.
But realistically, this car might require those arms. Like these arms were so crazy that they were built for cars that I guess are basically going to be like the Blit.
Right.
So
you need that crazy shit. Hey, you guys, I got a really great comment today, a message that I would love to share with you, because it's actually based on. Actually, there's two. I got two. I woke up to one this morning, and I wasn't sure what to make of one of them, but I'll try. No, we'll do this one first. Louis. It's okay. Probably Louis the Vano. That's not how Louis. His last name is, or it's Louise the Vano. Whatever. All right. Shut up, both of you. This is important. Hey, big fan of the podcast. Just listen to EP 70. I'm not one to usually DM regarding an episode, but I thought the discussion around kids' clothing was great. Definitely would buy kids' merch. The first thing I thought of was Blacksmith / Halifax Street, our boy Jesse, and that team there in Regina, Saskatchewan. Okay. Their kid stuff is sick. And then he wrote, my dad drives. Designs are fine for Walmart and Etsy. I think SerialNine is too cool for that. And then I said, hey, thanks for reaching out. I agree. Yada, yada. I think you're right. That shit's fine for Etsy, but SerialNine is too cool for that. And then I said, I'm going to tell them right now. That's how I talk to people in messages. And I told you. So I've told you, and I agree. I thought that was a perfect way to like sum that up. Is like that all that other stuff is very like Etsy. And that was, I thought, a pretty good takeaway.
It's a pretty good way to
but like, okay, what about some of this like anime-ish style shit, but like with SerialNine and for kids? I think that would be tight, because like you get these little
that's great.
fucking cats and shit, and these like
one, we all love cats, and two, you already have a cat. You already have a cat logo. You could just put on some kid stuff.
That's perfect.
Right, but I meant like more like this type of shit, like this Japanese shit. I do like this stuff. I think this stuff's kind of sick.
Right, nobody, when you say this shit, we don't know what you're looking at. Man, I had a whole thing, and I talked to a person about it, and they're like, "Yo, I love the." I'm gonna paraphrase it because I can't find it. It was like, "Yo, really love the podcast. Been listening to it whenever I'm driving down the road." And I see a broke down car, I think of Gerard. A dirty broke down car, I think of Gerard. And when I see a car full of stickers, I think of you. And I was like, I don't know what that means. Why is
a dirty, broke down car would be me? Because I drive BMWs now.
No, because you talked about that. Like I feel that's both things you've talked about. Like,
oh yeah, that's right.
It's not that like they represent you, but you just like are remembered.
I'm scared of art cars, and Gerard's scared. I didn't know, and I was like, "What a weird burn on Gerard."
This person's got nothing to lose.
Yeah, all right.
Ryan's afraid of someone who's like whose corners can't be rounded off. You know.
Dude, that's not it. I'm scared of someone who's so unhinged that they don't. Where like all reason and logic exit their brain. That's what I think. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes way more sense.
This cat needs to fucking die.
Hey, Gerard and Kevin.
Yes.
Do you ever have imposter syndrome?
No, I did Google it though because I have a different thing that came up when I Googled it.
I got big dick syndrome. No, come on. What do you got?
It's not that.
You got BDS?
It's not that.
BDS.
All right. IS 300, JZS 161. Apparently, just Kevin and I combined on that one. And IS and okay. Anyway, okay. After listening to the latest podcast, I couldn't help but smile and laugh when we were traveling on the highway. Seeing a damaged car on the highway made me think of Gerard. And seeing one with a bunch of stickers made me think of you. Lol, love the podcast. Keep them coming, guys. And at first I was like, damaged car for Gerard. And then, as Kevin explained,
I still don't get it.
Like,
because of the story
you were like, there was you're like, I was at Duffin's and there was not a homeowner in the car, which is like your term for a prostitute. And then
that's not what I meant.
You said that. You said not a homeowner, and we said, what does that mean? And then you said she was a prostitute. And then we were like, well, how did you draw that conclusion? You need to like fucking carry a tape recorder around with you and record the shit that you say. Just like, oh,
travel stenographer.
Gerard,
no, because that not a homeowner is it's like a joke. Like I think it's actually
yes, Gerard. For like prostitutes?
No, not for prostitutes, just for people that are like
not homeowners. Because you own a home.
Kevin, you own a home? Kevin, I don't own a home.
Kevin, and I don't own homes. So are we peasants?
Actually owns a home.
You almost like really own a home.
I mean, I own as much home as you own.
Yo, the bank owns a home, bro.
Fucking.
They own a chunk of my home.
Bought, not built, buddy. You had
AI-powered logo generator, Kevin?
You're going to be real sorry when AI turns into Skynet and murders you.
I mean,
George. No. Save me a few minutes. I saw an article that a bunch of AI, like, people that work in the AI field were asking people to pause on building AI stuff.
Yeah.
Because they're like, yo, we haven't really, well, they work, but they're saying, like, we haven't really fully thought of the consequences of what we're doing. We never stopped to ask.
Well, see, the problem is if they've released it to the fucking world now. And it's like, now it's like everybody's on it and everyone thinks that,
you and your scientists were too concerned with whether or not you could. You never stopped to think whether or not you should.
Exactly. And they said, I read the thing really quickly because I was like, is this like a real thing? And the guy said, like, what I thought would take 20 to 30 years is now going to take like 5. And we haven't even like considered. And essentially it was like what this means to humans and like what type of threat it creates if we continue down this road, which really much is Skynet or Ultron from the Avengers movie. But anyway.
There was one of the dudes, I don't know the details of it, but one of the dudes who's like really heavy into the development of AI basically just like ditched and was like, yo, like this is not going in the right direction. And he's like basically devoted his life to like campaigning against AI now because like he's like, you guys have no fucking idea. Like you have no idea like what's gonna happen. and it's going to happen way faster than we all thought.
I feel like that was like the same as the guy who like invented the nuclear bomb. He was sort of like,
yeah, probably.
I fully regret doing this, and like,
yeah,
I got to do everything in my power to like prevent this from like
getting out.
Yeah.
Well, we'll all know because Christopher Nolan has a movie coming out about that. Hey, we could get paid by Christopher Nolan to plug his movie. I haven't been thinking about this. We could be plugging movies and getting no, not sponsorship from movies. That'd be great. I would play directly into my film degree. Oh yeah, go on.
Oh, I mean, you're not done talking.
Toto's Mile is coming out soon.
Well, yeah, fucking AI made it after we put it out there in the universe.
Exactly.
No,
Gerard just prompted it to write the script.
Yeah.
And then fed the script into like an auto-generating image.
Into Midjourney or whatever, and then it made the whole thing.
Yeah.
Hey, I was talking about Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer is coming out.
So I can't remember what I was doing, but like I was like, oh, remember Predator and like remember Aliens and like the Praliens and like the fucking shit. So I was like, you know what?
Alien.
Yeah, I'm just gonna watch those movies again. Then Danny was like, because Danny's hella into Predator and stuff. He's like, yo, they made a new movie. I was like, oh, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, last year they made a movie called Prey, and it was a prequel to Predator. And I was like, fuck yes. So then I watched it, and it was sick.
It's fucking dope. Yeah.
Yeah, super dope. So then I watched Predator the other night, and I was like, okay, I mean, it's really old, but like it's still cool, I guess. And so now I was gonna watch Alien last night, but then I didn't because I was too tired.
Hey,
I'm gonna watch them all.
If you want to talk about those movies, I'll bring I got a guest that we can bring on that's an expert that can
Who's that?
Talk all of my buddy Adam loves all of those movies that you
Yeah, so does
he loves he's just like any chance he gets to talk to me about Alien and Aliens. It's just James Cameron Alien. I'm like, this is why and I was like, yeah, man. I've never really sat through the whole thing. And he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he like loses.
You didn't sit through any of the movies?
No. I've watched Prey. I've seen Predator 2, which this is a tie.
Predators.
Yeah, I've seen Predators. I've seen both Alien versus Predator movies.
Yeah.
I played the video game where you get to be a predator. You get to choose a character if it has a mask on or a mask off. And I've seen Alien Resurrection.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I haven't seen like Alien. No, I haven't seen Alien, Aliens, or Alien 3, and I don't think I've sat through all of Predator, like the first.
I mean, Predator's pretty hard, man. It's really long, and it's really like a lot of the same thing.
And fucking really cut down those trees with that minigun.
Man, I feel like I've seen Predator like so many times.
Dude, Danny's like, I watch it too much.
Isn't it like if it bleeds, it can die or whatever?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. All the
dude, like, and he's just sitting there like dry shaving, like the whole movie. Like,
I mean, that guy was literally sweating the entire movie. He's just like fucking covered in sweat.
If it bleeds, it can be killed. And then the most famous line from that movie: "Get to the chopper."
Get to the chopper.
Yeah.
That was the name of the beer.
And then and then like also the handshake at the beginning, which is like you son of a bitch. Yeah.
That meme? Yeah.
That's the meme now.
And I remember a long time ago, Turk and I think Forsberg did that thing where they were on the same team and they did the like you son of a bitch, like anyway. It was great. Good times. Recreated it. Love a good nod to a good pop culture reference. Anyway. Mm-hmm. What a weird podcast this has become. Hey, Gerard, do you think there's ever a point that your kids will go back and listen to this podcast?
Yeah.
Just be like, holy shit, my dad said some shit. Yeah. My dad.
Yeah, I was thinking about that today, like with rappers and stuff. And like, because a lot of rappers.
Like Eminem?
I don't know what Eminem. I don't give a fuck about Eminem.
Hey, Gerard, who's the best rapper alive? Who's GOAT? Greatest rapper all time?
I couldn't tell you, my man.
Oh, God, you never want to answer any of the hard questions. You just want to talk about BMWs all the time.
It's a subjective question.
Oh, everything's
or
subjective.
Unless you mean like in the the greatest rapper alive. Like, I'm pretty sure every rapper has once said, "I'm the greatest rapper alive."
Yeah. I saw a Z today for the 400 or whatever they call it.
Oh, yeah?
For the first time. Yeah.
Nice.
We saw one in the States.
Did we?
Yeah, it was on a car transport, but.
Oh, I saw one in like a Save-On parking lot today. And I was like, oh, that's a it's a pretty good looking car. It's a little bit bigger than I thought it would be for some reason. But anyway.
Cars just get bigger.
Cars get bigger, budgets get bigger. I watched a video in my exercise to try to be more knowledgeable. I just start and understand YouTube. I've been watching more YouTube content. And also there's a writer's strike, as Gerard mentioned.
Nope.
Yeah, Kevin did not care about the writer's strike. And it was interesting. Like I watched, for some reason I clicked on it. And it was like car buying budget, which none of us have this. He was like talking about buying a car for a price and like how you would break it down. And I cannot imagine buying a brand new car, like off the lot. Like, is that even
rich? I'd have to be pretty rich.
Like he was like, if you make yeah, that was a long time ago though.
Yeah.
Because now it was like, if you want to buy a car, I think he said like it's meant to be 30% of your income, but realistically you should do it at 20% of your income. So it was like kind of.
I mean, that's a lot of money.
It kind of is, but if you only make $70,000 a year, I guess that's American, but then what's your income for a car? 20% of 70,000?
So 16,000.
That's not that much money for a brand new car. As some of that makes like 70.
Well, I mean, that's why you don't buy a brand new car, right?
That's, I guess, why I'm not buying a brand new car. Exactly. But also,
it's like if you make
$16,000 is like quite a bit more than any of my cars.
Exactly. All your cars together, though, you got a different game. And then it was like, if you make $150,000, then you could buy a car, like in theory, for like $60,000 to $70,000. And I was like, cool. So you get like a Camry? Like, what do you what do you get?
Well, that's what I mean. Nobody really owns their car except for people like us that have just old ass fucked up cars.
Yeah.
Yes. It's wild though. To like, I don't know. I guess like, I watched that and I was like, man, money's weird and I don't understand it. That being said, are there any YouTube channels that you guys are watching? Recommend? Thoughts?
I've switched over to all BMW stuff. I watch Vehicle Virals and like some other like BMW. I just trying to learn as much as I possibly can about like the N54 and it's definitely like a whole different ball game, man. For like a set of injectors, because they're direct injection and the injectors are pretty shitty on them and they go. So a set of injectors on this engine commonly having like needing to be purchased is about $5,000 Canadian. Just the injectors, yeah.
That sounds stupid.
But
I don't like that.
Like, I'm just trying to compare it to 2JZ. So 2JZ you buy it for, I mean, who the fuck knows how much they're actually worth these days? Like, let's say you get one for fucking $6,000 or $7,000. That's on the cheaper side.
That's impressive. Yeah, that's not really gonna happen. But
Okay, so you get a stock 2JZ for $6,000 or $7,000. That's still fucking stock, man. You know what I mean? Crusty ass old wiring harness. You got to put that into something now, right? You got to put that into whatever. Or I guess the best case scenario would be to buy an Aristo, like a mint condition.
Yeah,
Aristo,
it would.
Which would be, let's say, $15,000 at the very least, right?
Oof, good. You American, obviously, American.
Sure.
For all you Americans out there that want an Aristo.
And then so now you have the engine installed in the car. The car is old. The car has an old automatic transmission, right? So you gotta swap some sort of transmission into it. Let's say you do either a fucking manual or a DCT. You gotta buy a standalone. You gotta buy a manifold. You gotta buy a turbo. You gotta buy probably a fucking harness. You gotta buy all this shit, right? So it's gonna add up. And then if you get this like N54, so like the car comes with the engine, so like, you know, you can get an auto or a stick, but I guess let's say you got an auto one. The auto's more advanced. It's, usable.
Boo. Okay, go on.
The stock turbos can make up to 500 something horsepower, right? So you don't necessarily have to buy turbos unless they're fucked up, which is very common on, to BMW. But like, let's say you got the best case scenario, you wouldn't have to buy turbos. Maybe you wouldn't have to buy injectors. Maybe you wouldn't have to do a bunch of shit. But like, if worst case scenario, you got to buy injectors. That's $5,000. You got to buy some new turbos. Like, let's say you replace them with stockers. It's like, I don't know, $1,500, $2,000. So now you're still at whatever. What is that? $7,000. Flash tune. So you don't need a standalone because it's just a flash tune. So like, yeah, there's
just now.
Huh?
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like advantages and disadvantages. Because before I was like, oh, if I'm going to build this BMW, I want to do like a 2JZ and like a DCT into a wagon. It's like, you know how much that's going to fucking cost and how long that's going to take to do. And also like, that's just not going to be a fucking like car that's, going to be cohesive. It's just not going to, it's probably just not going to work very well together with all the shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you can just buy the car that came with all that shit and then hope that you don't have to replace the really expensive shit on the engine. So.
Man, I literally just Googled this engine, and one of the first articles that came up was how to make BMW's notorious N54 engine more reliable.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Literally jumping.
I'm just over here praying for you.
It's like a pit full of like, it's a fire pit with like knives and shit sticking out of the bottom, and you're just trying to like jump across it, standing on the tips of the knives that are the dullest. It's literally. That's what it feels like.
Well, what's the pros and cons and more? Never mind. There's article. We don't even need a podcast. Everyone. Oh, that's 403. There's an error.
The pro is that the engines can take 700 horse, 800 horse, like probably let's say like 600 or 700 horse.
For how long before something breaks? Like, and I don't mean like, oh, it can like take that amount of horsepower, but just like the actual reliability of the engine itself.
Well, the engine itself is apparently quite reliable, like the actual fucking long block or whatever, right?
Right.
So like a lot of times the kind of good thing is people put single turbo on them, right? So now the single turbo, it changes the torque peak to be a bit higher, so it's easier on the engine. Kind of like how Paulo's always like, oh, like I don't want to give you a lot of low end torque because it's really hard on the rods and it blows the bearings out of it. Like you blow up the engine sooner with like high powered twins than you would a single, apparently. But yeah, 600 horse is not uncommon, which is plenty. 600 horse is fucking plenty. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot.
Yeah. Not enough horsepower.
So you can get 600 horse with hybrid twins. So you can have it like basically be totally stock and have like, like a normal stock-ish power band. And then if you went to a single, then it'd be like a, more power band that we're sort of used to where the turbo comes on and it's like all hell breaks loose and it pulls all the way to red line. And yeah. And then the pros obviously is because it is that engine, you can bolt on a DCT or a 6-speed or the 8-speed, like all those. So now you know how like a DCT onto a 2JZ, like what do you think Cedric's into that DCT for, Kevin? Probably at least $6,000 or something.
Including the tranny, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like the full swap $6,000. So you would just buy the DCT for the N54 out of an IS. And I think the last one we saw with the complete everything was $3,000. And then you just bolt it on. And then the 8-speed, which is the newest, like the same tranny and like the Supra, the 8-speed you can just buy. I think it's like people do the swaps for like $1,500 because those trannies literally came in every other BMW. So yeah, there's a lot of pros to like that. And then especially if we're trying to build a car to promote the company, it's just a cheaper route to get to the end goal, which is a sick car that you can actually drift or do burnouts in, or it looks cool, or whatever, you know what I mean? Like to build a cool car. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, they definitely. Wow. But crazy, Leo. Do you know Leo? Leo Gossett?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he has a 335 and he's had it for like many years. And I just talked to him because he just posted it for sale and it's actually fucking super cheap. And I was like, oh, like, how'd you like the car? Like, how's the reliability? He's like, I don't know, man. I have a 500 horse tune and like this and that. And I've put 40,000 K on it, no issues. I'm like, I mean, that's pretty good, man. And his car is 200,000 K. That's fucking high as shit. Right?
That's very scary for that.
That's what I mean. But then also, like, at the other meet, I talked to a guy who's drag races his car religiously. It's like a 10-second car. It's 10/8. And he's like, I've never broken an axle. I've never had it towed home from the track. Like, it has over 300 passes on it. Like, you have to do the maintenance. You have to do this shit. But like, it's very reliable. Like, at an elevated power level. So, and the tranny even takes, the auto tranny takes pretty good abuse, whatever, right? So, I don't know. I want to try it. It's a whole new world for me, and I'm excited about it. So,
like a magic carpet ride. Well, that's great. Fully a magic carpet ride. How did we get onto that engine? What happened?
I don't know. You asked him about BMWs 20 minutes ago, so
I did.
Here we are.
Here we are. I asked about BMWs. I need to start making notes about what I said.
I think you said I'm gonna regret this.
That sounds about right. Yes.
I mean, I posted up that wagon though. I mean, it was a pretty cool wagon. I posted up that wagon, and a lot of people. I got a lot actually of positive.
Yes, Gerard. So the internet knows. Whenever you say anything that makes me look like a dummy, Gerard sends it to me to make sure that I look like a dummy.
No,
hey, look at all these people like this car.
That's not why I sent it to you.
I know it's not why you do, but you do it. It doesn't matter. It's like, and then I gotta be like, these people seem to like a lot. This one guy really liked your Aristo. It doesn't matter. You're on. You got a taste of the good life. You want that BMW in there. You're chasing it, chasing the dragon. Oh, I know what I asked. I didn't ask about BMWs. I asked about YouTube channels.
Oh, and I just said I'm just into the BMW stuff now. Sorry.
And I was gonna be like, "What BMW channels do you watch?" And then we went into a time warp, and now I'm here. Hey, is there a one channel, 2 or 3 channels that you're like that is a trusted source that you watch, or do you just watch whatever you can find? How do you?
I mean, there's one guy, the Vehicle Virals guy. I do actually find him pretty good. He has all the cars that I am sort of, interested in, and he's done all the mods. He does a video on he's done a single turbo top mount and a single turbo bottom mount and all this other shit. And he daily drives this car, and this car's automatic and this car's standard. So it's like a lot of reviews on all these different aspects. And then I do watch a couple other channels, mostly when I need to learn about something, when I had to do a bunch of the shit on the 118, I'd watch videos that how to take the dash out or how to fucking
educational videos.
Huh?
I said educational videos.
Yeah, exactly. But a lot of the stuff now is why is this turbo kit better than that turbo kit, and how much power are you making with this thing, and et cetera, et cetera.
Do you feel like YouTube is a replacement for forums for you right now?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's definitely faster and it's more visually sort of enticing. I definitely would rather watch a video than read through fucking 8,000 pages of. And then one of the biggest problems I have with forums too is how you always have to flip the page. It's can't they just have an endless scroll?
An endless page,
no. Yeah.
My biggest problem with forums
then they don't get they don't get page views, buddy.
Yeah. My biggest, and probably it takes longer to load. Probably
because you just load eventually down.
Well, yeah, but I think when forums were at their peak, the internet didn't work that way. Remember people used to put 56K modem killer on when there was a lot of photos. They'd be beware 56. That was a concern that you'd have too many photos on the internet for you to handle. They only knew the future.
Nothing but photos. No words allowed on the internet.
Yeah, and that you pretty much. So YouTube videos for you are how to, and yeah, okay, replacement for forums.
I literally just
want
to learn everything. Yeah.
I was gonna say, you know what my least favorite part about forums is now you just get stuff that was like relevant from the year 2006. Yeah. And you're like, well, that's too long ago to be like useful. Like I was reading stuff about the 2J. To like, I was just like, oh, I'll read about it. And people were trying to figure out if it was non-interference or not. It was just like a debate. I'm like, I feel like this shouldn't be a debate. I feel like this should be a cut and dry matter. I don't know. And then I was like, oh, it's 2006. I see. Like they were being dummies. Yeah. So yeah, I that's what I don't like about forums is that like you don't really know now how old it is and if that information is still relative. I mean,
forums always have a date, man.
I know, but I wasn't looking at first, and then I looked. So at first I was like, they're showing me the hottest thing off the press.
Well, honestly, like Ryan.
Yes,
if Kevin? It's on a forum, it's 2009.
I know. Old habits.
Some forums though, like I mean, honestly, like I do search a lot of stuff recently. There still are forums. Fender rolling.
Still going?
That's how people find me.
Forums. On what?
Fender rolling. Rev scene. Sometimes. I mean, not all, but yeah, I feel like some forums, like when I look at them, they're still like 2015, 2018, 2019. Like I've read forums recently that are like 2021, 2022. So they're still going.
God bless them, hey? Keeping it going. I've been watching YouTube videos just to try to like figure out YouTube, which isn't probably going to help because like
you can watch videos on figuring out YouTube.
Yeah, no, I've watched a few of those. But then the thing that actually the thing that is that I actually need to know then is like our video analytics, like when people stop watching, how long people watch for. So then you can like watch and be like,
Kevin could just share the analytics of the actual video with you.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or me.
Because then it's like you find the common denominator of why someone stopped watching and then don't do that anymore. If you say you're going to do something, say it right away, do it off the bat, and then go bigger than that at the end. That's all like Mr. Beast shit.
Nice.
He's the best, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, and then I just watch like kind of entertaining educational videos. But we've also talked about this. All of the videos, all of the titles of them are always like, I can't do this anymore. Like you won't believe. Yeah, I can't fix. Like it's always like I can't, and then like the video's just them doing it, and I'm like, yo, you fucking liar, you can too. But you knew that I'd click it because you said you couldn't. Yeah, you did the exact opposite of what you told me. You didn't quit. You're doing more. Anyway, so I've watched things that I don't think I necessarily would generally watch, but then I'm like, oh, okay, I'll see what they're about because I want to understand YouTubers a bit more. Yeah. Like Tavarish. You ever watch Tavarish, Gerard?
What's that?
I think he worked for Jalopnik and now he has his own YouTube channel, but he like started a long time ago. So like he was in on the ground floor. And now he does things like it's like I bought a flood damaged McLaren and I'm gonna
I've seen those videos. I might have watched one.
Yeah, it's like the things. And you're like watching this guy, like him and his buddies try to take the hybrid system out of a McLaren. They're like, like it's kind of with like a 2x4 and shit, and you're like, oh, this is weird.
Kind of don't enjoy those videos too much.
No, but that's the thing is, those are the ones that people are clicking on. Like those have an audience. I'm trying to understand, man. I'm out there trying to figure it out. Yeah, good. Other than that, I don't know. I watched those gears and gasoline videos where they just go on road trips. I don't know. A lot of things happen out there. I wouldn't. I don't. Neither of you should watch. I watch them so you don't have to.
One thing I was going to say is, I mean, I feel like it's in the BMW world. I feel like they're the information sharing, the wealth of information is greater. The information sharing is more open, but the quality of the information, because there is so much information, because so many people share it, quality of the information is difficult to sift through. Like this, you can find 20 videos on like single turbo conversion, and like you're only going to find one or two from like a competent person that actually understands turbos and manifolds and installations and heat management and anything at all. It's just going to be like, because like every BMW guy is like a BMW bro. Like, oh, look at me, like put this fucking, I got the MHD stage 3 tune or whatever, they're all just like kind of dumbass bro dudes, like fucking up their cars and making videos.
Yeah. Maybe it's because they're fancy boys and they don't know how to do the thing, they're a little bit fancy because they have a BMW, and then they're like, I want a wrench, but it's like they should. Anyway, go on.
Sorry. I mean, all of them
pay the man to do the thing.
You can't have a BMW and not know how to wrench. You should be fucking.
I don't feel like that's true. There's a lot of BMWs.
Yeah, I feel that's 100% not true.
No,
I feel like you can't have a BMW and have a shallow wallet, is what I think. I don't think you can have a BMW outside of warranty.
Yeah,
that's my thought. But
the videos I'm watching are on these older cars, like 2006 to 2015 or whatever, right?
Glad we got the BMWs again. Makes me real happy. I think we.
Exactly, right?
I mean, I was going to compare those videos to like the JZX or Toyota type videos and stuff, and like I don't find them to be the same, because I feel like there isn't like a car that you would just buy from Toyota or from whatever and then just sort of start modifying it. The only thing really would be the JZX sort of 100. You know what I mean? It's not like you buy a GS and you're like, oh yeah, like I did a turbo upgrade and I just did a flash tune. Like you just physically can't do that. So there aren't any videos about it. You know what I mean? And it's not very common for people to be like, oh, like, I mean, it's not uncommon, but it's not like, oh, I bought a this and I'm putting a 2J in it, and like now I got the standalone and now I got this and now I got that. Like those videos are so not few and far between, but it's just not a common, like, you're gonna find like 50 videos with an S13 2J swap. They're gonna be so vastly different because like the cars are different, the engine's different, the turbo system's different, like the guy making it's different, you know what I mean? So anyways, it's just a different type of video that you find. I don't know if I ever watched a lot of those videos anyway.
You never needed to watch a Toyota video, hey?
No.
You wanted to be a Toyota. You wanted to be a Toyota video.
It's just like I'm not gonna watch a video on a fucking putting a single turbo on a 2JZ. Like you know what I mean? I kind of already know how to do that.
I pioneered that shit, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I did.
You're not gonna watch it though to see like maybe they do it differently, or like you could be like, I did that better. I don't know.
Because I can probably guarantee that like 80% of them are doing it wrong anyways. You know what I mean?
Ooh, that's a big number. All right. Well, now that you've just shit on that entire community and 80% of that community, which is fine.
It's not true.
It's fine.
Well, I'll tell you a perfect example. Like our CD999 shifter, right? We've sold
the best in the biz.
Over 2,000 of those shifters. Over 2,000 of them to people from road racing to drag racing to drifting to fucking street cars to anything. Can you find one really, really excellent video on that shifter? I'm going to tell you, not really. Like there are some videos.
Did you make one?
That's different. I made a video, and I wouldn't even call it an excellent video. It's an instructional video.
Yeah, that one's a bad dummy video. No, it's good.
I mean, it shows you how to adjust the fucking thing and put it on. It's not like a sick video.
Sounds like a good how-to video. Isn't that the one
yeah.
The one you cut to the beat when you hammer?
No, that's the instructional. That's the ultimate CD9. CD Pro.
That's the ultimate one, and that one is ultimate. I agree. Just if anyone hasn't watched it,
the shifter.
Yeah, the belly. Right.
Yeah, not even like a really beautiful unboxing or like installation and like a review on it. Nobody's done a fucking review on it. Nobody's done a comparison on it compared to a GK Tech or any of the other shits. Like, and I've sold fucking thousands of them, right? So that just goes to show you the type of clientele, if you will, of the of that crowd. It's not a Toyota crowd even. It's just
you just shit talked all of our customers.
I don't even think that's a comment of that.
They don't need to make a video. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, they don't, because like, here's the thing: is that everybody wants a YouTube channel now, and I kind of think that it's nice that there's people that are like, they get your product, and they wait for it, it shows up, they're excited, they put it in their car and they use it and it works. People that are making those videos have like sponsorship deals. They're like, I gotta make this video.
Sorry, I take that back, because there are a couple of videos that are pretty good. Like one dude took out like a sequential, the S1 sequential or whatever, and put the CD 999 back in. But the video wasn't like a direct whatever comparison, but it was indicated in the video that like, yo, like, I used to have this shifter, I went to the S1, I'm just gonna put the other shifter back in because it's sick.
Look, you got fucking 15K on that video. That's great. Official SerialNine CD 999 shifter installation video. That's great. 4 years ago, somebody did it. They wore a toque. It's really good. A beanie for Americans. I mean, yeah, you did it. Why? Maybe they don't need to do it because you did such a good job, and you've sold 2,000 of those, and there's 15,000 views. What we need to work on is getting the closure rate from views to buying that shifter to be even greater. Got 15,000 views, got 7,000 shifters out there in the wild. Got a ABC, man, always be closing, Hey, do you have any closing thoughts? Things you want to share with the world? Get off your chest?
No.
Shit on your clientele? No. Oh. Okay,
I mean, I'm not trying to shit on it, so don't. Maybe if you re-listen to that,
I don't think you're actually trying to shit on anyone.
Yeah,
you're not trying to shit on anyone. Relax. This was all over the rails, and I loved it. What a journey we went on, ups and downs, all around, merry-go-round style. Thanks for everyone who tuned in and listened. Thanks for sending questions. Also, thanks to David. For sending a question and then resending the question to be like, hey, you big dummy.
Hey, is that David D-Licker? Or is that his name's, Kevin? Is that who that is? That is who that is, isn't it?
The red?
Yeah.
The red one? Yeah. Yes.
I don't know names, man. I'm terrible with names.
You know the car. I'm pretty sure you just shared the story. Yeah. Yeah. That guy. He's on the drifting the car on the skid pad. We all know what we're talking about. We all know the guy. It's great. It's lovely. He should move closer. Ask me more questions. Remind me when I forget to ask them. It's great. I need that in my life. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, thanks. Thanks everyone for listening to the podcast.
Glad to be part of it.
Really appreciate it. Yeah.
Sweet dreams.
Glad. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
They might be. Yeah. Bye.
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 Thanks for listening to Serial Podcast 9.